Imagine this. You're rejected by your own family, not because of something you did wrong, but because of where you came from. You're kicked out, humiliated, and told you'll never amount to anything. Then, years later, the same people who threw you away come running back.
I was cast aside, no one to call my own. Wandered far from home, walked the road alone. But you saw my pain, and you called my
Desperate,
name.
begging you to help them. That was the story of Jephthah, a man rejected, restored, and remembered, but also a man whose desire for validation cost him something precious. This isn't just ancient history. This is a story about rejection, leadership, and the danger of trying to prove yourself. Let's dive in. The Bible says in Judges 11:1, Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead, his mother was a prostitute. From the very beginning, Jephthah's life was marked with a label. When his father later married another woman and had more sons, those sons saw Jephthah as a threat. He was the oldest, meaning a bigger inheritance. So they gathered together and said, "You are not going to get any inheritance in our family because you are the son of another woman." Judges 11:2. And just like that, Jephthah was driven out. No defense, no advocate, no one stood for him. He left home, humiliated, and settled in a place called Tob. But here's the thing about outcasts. They often become the strongest warriors. Jephthah gathered a band of adventurers around him and became known as a skilled fighter. His reputation grew, even if the people of Gilead refused to admit it. Years later, the Ammonites attacked Israel. The elders of Gilead, yes, the same ones who ignored Jephthah's rejection, now needed a leader. And who better than the mighty warrior they once despised? So they went to Tob. Jephthah answered them sharply in Judges 11:7. "Didn't you hate me and drive me from my father's house? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" But desperation humbles even the proud. The elders promised, "If you come with us and fight against the Ammonites, the Lord be our witness. We will make you head over all of us." This was Jephthah's moment. The rejected stone was about to become the cornerstone. Jephthah accepted and prepared for war. Very good move, right? He even tried diplomacy, sending messages to the king of Ammon, recounting Israel's history and God's promises. But the Ammonite king refused to listen. Then, Judges 11:29 says, "The Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah." This was the key moment. God's Spirit was with him. Victory was guaranteed. But instead of simply trusting God's promise, Jephthah made a rash vow, and he said,
"If you give the Ammonites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering."
It was unnecessary. God had already anointed him for victory. Sometimes, when God has already said yes, we still feel the need to prove ourselves.
Rest in your promise, your yes is enough.
The Lord gave Jephthah a mighty victory. He defeated the Ammonites completely. When news reached home, his only child, his daughter, heard that her father had returned victorious. Full of joy, she came out to meet him, dancing with tambourines. The moment Jephthah saw her, his heart sank.
"I am devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break."
And here we see the tragedy. His daughter, full of grace and submission, told him,
"My father, you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised, now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Ammonites."
Judges 11:36. She asked for 2 months to mourn her life. And then Jephthah fulfilled his vow. What a pity. The story is shocking, it's heartbreaking, and it raises many questions. But here's the point for us. Jephthah was already anointed. He didn't need to make that vow. The Spirit of the Lord was upon him before he spoke. His desire to prove himself, to secure his place, led him to a costly promise. How many times have we done the same? How many times have we overpromised, overspent, overcompensated, just to prove something to people who once doubted us? Jephthah's story is a warning. When God restores you, you don't need human validation. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Today's Jephthah's story teaches us, don't let rejection create desperation for approval. Don't let insecurity push you into rash decisions. When God restores you, trust His process. Don't try to earn what He's already given. Jephthah began as a rejected son of a prostitute. He became a mighty warrior. He was restored as leader of Gilead, and yet, his need for validation cost him dearly. The rejected stone was raised up by God, but the same God who restores is also the God who asks us to rest in Him. Jephthah's story tells every person who has been rejected, you don't need to fight for validation when God has already said yes. Also, remember, if God has restored you, don't rush to prove yourself. Don't sacrifice what's precious to win applause. He never asked you to seek. Let His grace speak for you. Shalom.
I was cast aside, no one to call my own. Wandered far from home, walked the road alone. But you saw my pain, and you called my name. Lifted me from shame, clothed me in your grace. Your yes is enough, I don't need to strive. Your grace is my anchor, it keeps me alive. When the world turns away, Lord, you're still enough. I rest in your promise, your yes is enough.
I tried to prove my worth to those who turned away, but I almost lost what you asked me to say. Your Spirit was on me before I ever spoke. Teach me to trust you, not vows I can't revoke.